Hello future educators, I'm Dr. Swasti Dhar and welcome to this fifth video of the playlist Crack the CTET Math section. In this video, we will delve into the complex divisibility rules which will help you understand and simplify complex problems and save time during the exam. I must clarify that though this playlist is mainly aimed at those who are taking paper 1, this video, that is the divisibility video, and the one which will come after this on LCM is asked in both paper 1 and paper 2. So paper 2 students can also benefit from this video. And paper 1 students, please focus more on the concept, and once you understand the concept, the simplification part of it is very simple. If you're new to my channel, let me welcome you. I mentor teachers and trainee teachers to crack the CTET exam on their first attempt. On this YouTube channel, you will find videos related to the CTET exam. I'm a qualified teacher educator, and you can find my CTET course on my website www.lwsctet.com, where I have self-paced online courses both for paper 1 and paper 2. And 3 months before the exam, we get together to solve papers once a week and also to clear doubts once a week. So twice a week we meet on this CTET journey. So coming back to the topic, what are divisibility rules and why do we need them? Let's understand this in detail. Let's begin. Can you look at one number and say whether it is divisible by 11, divisible by 13? You do not have to do the entire division. What you need is to know the divisibility rules so that you can look at a number and say whether it is divisible by another number or not. Let's look at the kind of questions that CTET has asked for divisibility rules. So here's a question from August 2023, paper 1, which says which of the following is not a factor of 3630. So you have to say which of this is not a factor. Factor means it should be divisible, like the 3630 should be divisible by either 11 or 3 or 5 and 9. And for this, you need divisibility rules. Some questions taken from the previous paper. This is paper 2. The sum of all possible values for A if the number 547A is divisible by 3. So what are the various possibilities which you can have? 547 and that digit A will be divisible by 3, and you have to find the sum of that. Again, the smallest value of Y in this number so that it is divisible by 11. Which are the following are divisible by all these three numbers, 2, 3 and 11. So you have to know the divisibility rules of all. Similarly, 134x58y is divisible by 72. So this is another kind of divisibility which you have to learn. How do we know if something is divisible by 72? Then the value of 2x plus y. So they just add a bit of complexity. These are all paper 2 things. Similarly, the same 8-digit number, it is divisible by 88. So a few things that you need to keep in mind out here. In today's video, I will try to explain to you all the divisibility rules. It's not that these questions can't come in paper 1. In paper 2, they just ask a little bit more. So that's how you have to study for it. So let me just talk to you about what are divisibility rules, and you should know the divisibility rules of all the numbers from 1 to 11. And remember, 3, 9 and 11 are the favorite for CTET. So I'm going to do it in this order. Let's start with the divisibility rule of 1, 5 and 10 because this is basic. So 1 divides every number. So every number is divisible by 1. 1 is a factor of every number. Now for 5, we have all learned this. 5 and 0 should be in the units place. So however big the number is, let's say we take a number 7, 6, 5, 4, 9, 3, and there's a 0 out here. And they'll say, look at this number and say if it is divisible by 5. You only have to look at the units place. It should either be 0 or it should be 5. As long as it is 0 and 5, it will be divisible by 5. And for tens, the last digit has to be 0. Again, however big the number is, as long as the last digit is 0, it will be divisible by 10. I think this is very, very basic, which everybody will know. Let's move on to the divisibility rules of 2, 4 and 8. I have put it together for one particular reason. For 2, we look at the last digit, and it should either be 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. So it has to be an even number or it has to be 0. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. As long as the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, it will be divisible by 2. For 4, we have to look at the last 2 digits, and that should be divisible by 4. So let's take a number 756, 36. Now you will look at the last 2 digits only. Is 36 divisible by 4? Yes. So this number will be divisible by 4. Now for 8, we have to look at the last 3 digits. So if this number was 756016, we will look at the last 3 digits. Is 016 or 16 divisible by 8? Yes. Then this entire number is divisible by 8. Let's move on to the divisibility rules for 3, 6 and 9. Now for 3 and 9 first I will tell you, and then I will tell you about 6. You have to add the digits, and that should be either 3, 6 or 9, basically divisible by 3. Similarly, even for 9, we add the digits, all the digits, and that should be divisible by 9. Before I give you examples, let me tell you what happens with 6. For a number to be divisible by 6, it should be divisible by both 2 and 3. So to understand 6, you have to know the divisibility rule of 3. Now let me give you examples. Let me take the number 365 to 10 and ask whether this is divisible by 3. So we will add 3 plus 6 is 9, 9 plus 5 is 14, 15, 16, 17. So this adds up to 17 and this is not therefore divisible by 3. Is it divisible by 9? Since it adds up to 17, 7 plus 1 is 8. This is not divisible by 9 either. Now here's a trick that you must keep in mind when you are going to be doing your exams, because you do not wish to spend a lot of time just adding. So let me tell you what that trick is. Now let's say you've been asked whether this number is divisible by 3. Now the school book method is to add all this. 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 6 plus 9 plus 2 plus 1. But what you should do in an exam is try and find all the 3's, all the 6's and all the 9's and just cancel those. For example, 3, cancel that. 5 plus 1, 6, cancel that. 6, 9, 2 plus 1, 3. So once you have got 0 as a remainder, then this number is going to be divisible by 3. And you can use this even for 9, but there you have to only cancel the 9's. Let's say this number is given to you. So just keep cancelling the 9. So 9, 5 plus 4 is 9, 6 plus 3 is 9, 1 plus 8 is 9. So this number is divisible by 9. So I hope this short trick helped you. Let's move on to the other divisibility rules. Let's now go to the divisibility rule of 7, though this is hardly ever asked in CTET. Now the divisibility rule of 7 says, take the last digit, double it and subtract from the other digits. Let's say you have to take 343. What do? You take the last digit, 3, double that, so you get 6. And now you take the other digits as if that's a full number. So 34 minus 6, that gives you 28. Since 28 is divisible by 7, then this number gets divisible by 7. So that only leaves us with the divisibility rule of 11. So what does the divisibility rule of 11 say? Let me explain that with the help of an example. So here this number is given. What we have to do is we have to start with the first digit and add the alternate digits. So 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 6 is 11. And 11 plus 1 is 12. So we write 12 and then we take the second digit and take the alternate one. So 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. And we subtract that. So 12 minus 7 gives us 5. So since 5 is not divisible by 11, so basically this answer has to come to either 0 or 11 or a number divisible by 11 like 22, 33 like this. So let me explain this again. You start with the first number, whichever is the first number given to you, and you go alternate and you add that. You will get one number out here. This could be the smaller number also. And then you take the second number and again you add alternate and you get another number. This could be the bigger number. It doesn't matter, as long as you get a 0 or 11 or 22 or any number divisible by 11, that number would be divisible by 11, otherwise it is not. So to summarize, all numbers are divisible by 1. For 2, the unit place has to be 0 or even, 2, 4, 6, 8. For 3, the sum of the digits have to be divisible by 3. So basically it should be 3, 6 or 9 when you bring it down to a single unit. The last 2 digits for 4, they have to be divisible by 4. For 5, the unit digit has to be 0 or 5. For 6, it has to be divisible by 2 and 3. So remember, any number which is divisible by 6 will be an even number. Odd numbers are not divisible by 6. So that's just a trick for you to remember. For 7, you have to double the units place and subtract from the rest of the digits. This has hardly been asked in CTET. For 8, you have to see the last 3 digits. They have to be divisible by 8. The sum of digits for 9 has to be divisible by 9. For 10, the units place has to be 0. And for 11, you have to find the difference of all the odd and even place values. And it should either be 0 or divisible by 11. So learn those rules up well. And now that you know this, let's go back and solve the sums. So we're starting with the first sum, which is saying which of the following is not a factor of 3630. So since the last unit is 0, it is definitely divisible by 5. So 5 is not our answer. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 is not divisible by 9. So 9 is not a factor. This should be our answer, but let's check the others. So 3, 6, 3 I have cut off. So it is divisible by 3. And let's see for 11. So let me take 3, 6, 3, 0. So 3 plus 3 is 6, so I'll write 6 out here. 6 plus 0 is 6, so I'll write 6 out here and subtract. Since the answer is 0, this is divisible by 11. So directly it is not divisible by 9. Going on to a paper 2 sum, they've just asked that what are all the possible values for A if 5, 4, 7, A is divisible by 3. So let's add this up. 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16. So we know that 16 plus A has to be a multiple of 3. This should be divisible by 3. So the nearest number which is divisible by after 16 will be 18 and 21. So for 18 to be and then 24. So let's see, for this number to be 18, A has to be 2. So 2 is one possible answer. For this number to be 21, it has to be 3 plus 2, 5. So 5 is another possible answer. For this number to be 24, it will be 5 plus 3, 8. So 8 is another possible answer. For it to reach the next number, which is 27, we have to add 11. So it can't be a single digit. So we will cancel this out. So the possible answers for A, what A can be is 2, 5 and 8, and they've asked what is the sum of all possible values. So 8 plus 2 is 10 and 10 plus 5 is 15. So the answer is 15. So in paper 2, this is what they do. They kind of take the same concept and then they will just ask you a little more. Similarly, the smallest value of y in the number 9y8071 so that it is divisible by 11. So let's see this. What do? We have 9y8071. So 9 plus 8, 17. 17 plus 7 is 24. So this is your first number, 24. And for the other, we have y has to be added to 0 and 1. So this is 1 plus y. So 24 minus 1 plus y has to be either 0 or 11. Okay, so we'll try and make it 0 or 11. Let's see what we get. And remember, y has to be a single digit number. So 24 minus 1 is 23. So 23 minus y. We have to make it either 0, that becomes impossible because then y becomes 23. It can't be 11, but 23 minus 11 is not a single digit number. So let's make it the next number. So 23 minus what gives us 22. So 23 minus 1 gives us 22. So the value of y will be 1. If you substitute out here, this will be 9 plus 8 plus 7, which we know is 24. And if this is 1, this is 1, then 1 plus 0 plus 1 is 2. And 22. So 22 becomes divisible by 11. Now here they're asking which of the following is divisible by 2 also, 3 also and 11 also. So if you look at all the numbers, there is one odd number. So this will not be divisible by 2. So we cancel them. Now the other two are all even numbers. Let's see the next one, which is divisible by 3. 8 plus 4 is 12, 15 and 23. So 23 is not divisible by 3. Let's cancel this. 9 plus 8, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is not divisible by 3. So the answer will be 9636. Let's just check whether this is divisible by 11. So 9636. 9 plus 3 is 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. Answer is 0. So this is divisible by 11 and our answer. Now another question is, if the 7-digit number, there are two variables out here, is divisible by 72, then what is the value of x, 2x plus y? Now this is a special kind of a question where you said that the next one is also there, where they say it has to be divisible by 72 or 88. What do you do in this? Remember, you have to find factors which are co-primes. Co-primes means they do not have any other factor which is common to them. Let me explain this. So for 72, we have to find numbers which when you multiply gives us 72. So 72 is 6 into 12. But can we take this? No, because 6 and 12 have a common factor which is 2. 2 can divide 6 also, 2 can divide 12 also. So we cannot take this computation. What else gives us 72? 8 into 9. 8 into 9 is also 72 and they are co-prime. That means there is no factor which is common to 8 and 9. So we have to see whether this number is divisible by 8 as well as 9. So what is the divisibility rule for 8? We have to take the last 3 numbers and make it divisible. So we want a number 5, 8 and one number which is divisible by 8. So let's divide 5, 8 and this y with 8. 8 sevens are 56. We have 2. Now 2 into what will give us a number which is divisible by 8. So we know that 24 is divisible by 8. So this number which should come down so that we get a remainder of 0 is 4. So y is 4. So now we have to find the number 134x 584 which is divisible by 9. So what is the rule for 9? We have to add up all the numbers and it should be divisible by 9. Let's cancel. 5 plus 4 is 9. 8 and 1 is 9. 3 and 4 is 7. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Plus we have to make this 2 to get 9. So x is 2. So now we have the value of x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 4. We have been asked what is 2x plus y. So 2x plus y is 2 into 2, 4 plus 4 which is 8. So this is our answer. Here again they've asked what is the number. This number has to be divisible by 88. Then you have to find the value of 8 and x and y. Remember, most of this there will be 1 8. 8 into 11 is 88. These are co-primes. So we start with the same thing. 6, 7 and y has to be divisible by 8. So 8 8s are 64. 3 comes down. Now 3 into what is divisible by 8? So 3 fours are 32. So y has to be 2 because 8 fours are 32. So the value of y is 2. Now we have to find out 30x 08672. This should be divisible by 11. What do? We do 3 plus x plus 8. So 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 7 is 18. So 18 plus x is your first number, and the other number is 0 plus 0, and 6 plus 2, 8. So 18 plus x minus 8 has to be either 0 or 11 or 22. So let's see what we are getting. So 18 minus 8 is 10. So 10 plus x has to be, we have to take, it can't be 0, so we will take 11. So 10 plus 1 is 0. So x is 1. So since y is 2 and x is 1, we have to find the value of 3x. 3x is 3 and y is 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. This becomes our answer. So it's not a very difficult topic. You must know the divisibility rules. In paper 1, they ask simpler questions, and in paper 2, they just enhance it a bit more. If this video was helpful, do let me know in the comments. Let me know about other topics that you would like me to do. Thank you for being a part of this series. In the next video, I'll be talking about LCM again for paper 1 and paper 2. If CTET is your aim, do consider joining my WhatsApp preparation group so that you're abreast of all CTET news. You can also check out my website, lwsctet.com. Thank you for watching.